Hello everyone, this is Pooka and welcome to another game I play on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. This game was from my Valentine's Day stream, where I used all decks with fire Pokemon. So, Burning, Hot, Passion, and Love. Those are our Pokemon. And this one was a Snorlax, Moltres, Lugia deck. And I started with a horrendous hand. 2 Snorlax, 2 Moltres, 2 Colorless Machine, and a Tool Scrapper. And I'm forced to just play Hypnotoxic Laser and pass. But my opponent puts down a Burbank City Gym and returns the favor with a Laser. He starts with a Mewtwo, and I really don't know what to expect, but then he Ultra Balls away a Dark Energy. And I'm thinking, good, alright, a Darkrai deck. Snorlax has that block ability, and my opponent puts a Dark Patch, plays a Dark Patch, plays his hand down to 0, and passes, but Snorlax has block, which prevents your opponent's active Pokemon from retreating. Now, why is this important? Darkrai decks, in general, just don't run Switch. They really don't. And that means if something's stuck up there, it's stuck. Snorlax blocks them from retreating, and it's pretty sweet. I mean, this is my preferred starter against Darkrai decks, because most of the time they just take advantage of Dark Cloak, retreat, blah, blah, blah. But now you can't retreat, and what are you going to do? If he's poisoned, the Verbank's out there. I switched to my Snorlax because I just assumed Mewtwo would get knocked out. Because, Dark decks just play Keldeo nowadays. Because you can just rush in, attach, free retreat. That's your way of getting around poison, so why would you ever play Switch if that's the case? And then, okay, he played a Scramble Switch, so there goes that plan. Now I'm in a lot of trouble, but I did top deck an N, got that going for me at least. We're going to Tool Scrapper away that Eviolite, and I don't know what to do. Moltres, is just kind of another Plasma Pokemon to power up Snorlax's Team Pact attack, which does 30 times the number of Plasma Pokemon in play. So if you get 6 Plasma Pokemon in play, it does 180 damage, which actually knocks out pretty much every EX in the format. So I decided to bench 2 Moltres here, and I'm going to Colorless Machine 1 onto a Moltres. I get to search my deck for a Plasma Energy, attach it to a Plasma Pokemon. It does not count as your attachment for the turn. We can see I have all 4 Plasma Energy in my deck. I could have taken a big risk, Colorless Machine, put 2 Plasma on the active Snorlax, and then gone for a double Colorless, and then 2 Pokemon, which would have allowed me to Team Pact for 180 and get a huge knockout. But I figured that was just too risky. Didn't want to use that many resources for something like that. And so I just decided to go with Moltres instead. Now I can switch and Destructive Flame here, or I can just pass and let Snorlax burn. I really don't want a Destructive Flame. Honestly, it just does 30 damage. It's not very good. So I'd rather wait for a turn when I can, where I can just attack with Power Flame. I think that's the second attack, which will do 120. So I'm just going to pass. But it's actually unlikely for me to even attack with that attack. It takes 2 fire, 2 colorless. Moltres EX is not a very good card, but hey, it's Valentine's Day. And, that's why Moltres is here, to celebrate the occasion. Alright, so my opponent gets another Darkrai out. Gets a Keldeo as well, so he has that in his deck for the nice rush-in ability. Gives you free retreat. Don't have to worry about poison that much. He's going to knock out 1 Snorlax and 2 Snorlaxes, so my big buddies are both going down. That's a real bummer. And I have to figure out what's going to happen next. We will see. 2 Snorlaxes down. I'm down 2 prizes. Things looked so good at the beginning, and then all of a sudden that Scramble Switch came down, and I just was caught off guard, man. So I'm going to actually Ultra Ball away. I top decked the Bianca, which was big. I'm going to Ultra Ball away a double Colorless and a Switch. We're going to grab another Snorlax, put him into play. He's a pretty safe Pokemon to put down because he has 130 hit points. But, yep, that's a whole lot of nothing. I get a Lugia, which I really don't want to put down right now. I could, but I don't really know if I want to. I don't want to put another EX down right now. So I'm just going to drop the double Colorless on Snorlax, try to power him up, try to get a big Team Pact. And then I guess we'll Destructive Flame. Hopefully I'll get heads, and then I can discard an energy. Maybe he'll miss a turn of attacking since his hand was so low, but nope, I get Tails. And I do a pretty much worthless 40 damage there. Not too pretty. And now what am I going to do from here? This looks pretty dreadful. That Darkrai only has 40 on it. He's going to Night Spear me for 90. And then hit something for 30. And, man, this is just brutal. It's not how I wanted my Valentine's Day to go. I do have my Lugia. I'm trying to look for a spot to drop it and get a bunch of prizes. You know, if you knock something out with Lugia's attack, it does give you an extra prize. So if you knock out an EX, that's 3 prizes. But I don't know. My opponent drops a laser, which will do 30 every turn, thanks to that Burbank City Gym. Pretty annoying. Then he's going to Night Spear the active, and then hit the Snorlax for 30. So now I have to try to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to drop Lugia this turn for sure. Where I want to attach is an interesting question. If I go on to Snorlax and commit to that, he could just catch her and maybe knock that out. But I'm just going to plus power and Bicycle. And of course, I draw 2 more supporters as I'm about to Juniper. I don't want to end because he only has 2 cards. Skylar doesn't really get me anything. I do play Scramble Switch, so I was hoping, you know, to get, if I could get 1 more Pokemon and a Scramble Switch, I could actually team pact for the knockout since I played a plus power. But I whiffed, and now this is just kind of ugly. But I do have a catcher. I played a plus power, so Mewtwo has 140 damage on it, I think. 100 something damage. Whatever it has on it, I don't know, from poison all those turns. Yeah, it's actually 130 damage, which is perfect. And Destructive Flame of the plus power actually knocks him out. So go Moltres. We got 2 prizes. We're going to keep ourselves in the game here. But it's still not looking too pretty. As my opponent is going to knock out this Moltres for sure. If he has a catcher, he could even catcher something out and hit that and knock out the Moltres with 30 from Night Spear. And, yep, there's a catcher, so this is getting pretty ugly pretty quickly. He ends me down to 4. And how are we going to pull this one off, man? I don't even know. So he Night Spears the Snorlax, hits the Moltres. Now, I can attach a Double Colorless in Team Pact for the knockout, but then there's another Darkrai sitting there already, so, I mean, realistically, what can I do here? I'm going to Colress Machine. We'll see what we can get from this. There's 2 Plasma Energy left. So Colress Machine is a really good card, but it's limited by how many Plasma Energy are left. There's only 2 left, so I got to figure out where I want to put mine. I can either put it on Moltres or Lugia. I'm thinking, you know, I could pull off something with Lugia. If I get 2 Colress Machines and then another Double Colorless, I can actually use Plasma Gale twice and finish off the game after I knock out this Darkrai. So we're going to drop the DC onto Snorlax. We have 4 full art Lugia EXs on the board. Now I get a Colress Machine, but I draw my other Plasma Energy, so I can't use it because the Plasma has to be in the deck. But, you know, Snorlax does 180. I could just catch her out, that Darkrai, and, you know, knock the fresh one out. Might as well just do it, and then maybe I could pull off some fluke win with some plus powers on Lugia, and maybe just only need 1 attack to finish off the game. I've already used 2 plus powers. I think I only play, you know, I might only play 3. Not really sure. I just kind of built this deck for fun. But here we go. Team Pact 180. Snorlax just knocked out a Darkrai in 1 hit, guys. Snorlax. So, my opponent, he sends up Darkrai. He's got a Dark Claw now. And yeah, this just looks pretty much over. I don't see how I can win unless I pull off, you know, that turn I was talking about with the, if I can Colress Machine and then DC Plasma Gale with Lugia twice in a row, I could knock out a Darkrai for the win. Or if I get a double plus power with all that nonsense. The problem was I drew the Plasma with the Colress Machine, so I couldn't pull that off. And now I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So I don't really know where to go from here. My opponent Night Spears the Snorlax, and he can hit the Lugia for 30. So I guess, I don't really know what to even promote here. I can promote Moltres or Lugia. I'm going to promote Moltres, just because I'm thinking, you know, maybe I can end him down to 1 and then use Destructive Flame and discard his energy if I flip heads, and then he won't be able to attack. So we're going to end, put him at 1 card because I have to, otherwise I can't use my Chorus Machine. I really need to get that energy acceleration off. And here we go. Do I draw a Chorus Machine? Nope. I get a plus power and a scramble switch, which are not going to help here. And it looks like my time is up. Poor Valentine's Day Moltres. It's going to go down here. Just do a couple Night Spears. I mean, what else can I do? And there's a Skyla. If my opponent plays, I guess like a Laser, I would probably lose. If he brings out Snorlax with a catcher, I'd probably lose. There's a lot of stuff I would lose to here. So, it's just not a pretty situation at all. But, who knows? Weirder things have happened. This Skyla is definitely kind of a nail in the coffin card, though. And there's a catcher. So, my opponent just, he decides to play it and decides to grab Lugia. I actually think this is a pretty big mistake by my opponent. If he just holds on to that catcher there, he probably wins. Just attacks the Moltres. Now we got some life, man. We got that Scramble Switch. We got the plus power, which that doesn't do anything. But Scramble Switch is the big one. I can switch into the Moltres and then attack and set up for a Power Flame for the win next turn. Huh. So it looked like I was pretty much done for. But now I might have a shot. Thanks to that Scramble Switch there. Who knows? So we're going to play that Scramble Switch into Moltres. I mean, what other choice do I have here? I could go to Snorlax, then try to catch up the Keldeo and maybe trap it active. And then power up Snorlax until I win. But, you know, we're just going to go for Moltres. It's Valentine's Day. We're going for the Fire Pokemon, man. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to Chorus Machine. And there's 1 fire left. Okay. And we're going to drop the Plasma Energy onto the Moltres. Heavy Ball just to thin out some cards here. There's no more Snorlaxes left, so there's no cards for me to take. I'm going to Ultra Ball, I think, and thin out some more cards so that next turn, if he draws an N, I don't have to draw this stuff. So I'm going to discard Skyla. And, you know, I discard Juniper. I don't even know if that was the right thing to do. But that's what I was doing. I really just didn't want to draw the Skyla or the Ultra Ball, so I decided it was worth it to discard that stuff. I attach a DCE to Moltres. And Destructive Flame, 40. If I get heads here, and whoa, heads, okay. I discard his energy, so now he's going to need an energy and a catcher to win. Wow. So we're pulling this off, man. Can Moltres go the distance? And he says, no, heads. Wow, I mean, did Moltres just pull off the win of the century on Valentine's Day, man? And you know, I'm going to Chorus Machine just to make sure I got all the cards left. If I have a catcher and a fire, I actually win. And there they are. You can see them both. Power Flame does 120 damage. I've already done 80 to that Darkrai. And we're just going to draw our deck with that Juniper. All 7 cards. Catcher up the Darkrai. And Moltres EX is going to finish this game off. Power Flame for the win, man. Taking my last 2 prizes. And happy Valentine's Day, everybody. My Snorlax Lugia Moltres deck pulls through in the end. I don't know how, I don't know why, but Snorlax is the MVP for sure. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Happy Valentine's Day again. I'm Pooka from the Top Cut, and I'll see you guys next time.